Hi, I'm Mr. Haynes, and I would like to show you something out in the courtyard in a few minutes. You might think that you'd like to capture this on video with your cell phone. And if you do, I'd appreciate it if you would share some of the footage with me. Some of you might even want to go slow-mo. Now, I've got some liquid nitrogen in this Dewar flask. Most of you are familiar with nitrogen. It's a common gas. It makes up the lion's share of the air that we breathe. And some of you know about liquid nitrogen. It's a cryogenic liquid. Turn to your neighbor and say, cryogenic. The word cryogenic refers to the behavior of materials at very low temperature. And liquid nitrogen is really cold. It boils at 320 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. That's 77 Kelvin for you physics and chemistry types. You might have seen liquid nitrogen used to freeze things. And if you sign up for a physics class, then we'll do some demonstrations that involve the use of liquid nitrogen. Now, whenever I uncover this Dewar flask, which is essentially a really strong thermos bottle, you see this cloud form because moisture from the air condenses and makes all this really cool vapor. Nitrogen changes from a liquid to a gas at a really low temperature, and it has a lot of uses. Believe it or not, some bottlers of water make use of liquid nitrogen. They fill the bottle with water, and then they put a few drops of liquid nitrogen in right before they seal the cap. And when the nitrogen changes to a gas, then it expands, and that's what makes the bottle so hard. And then when you unscrew the cap, you get this sound of escaping pressure. So I was thinking, what if I took this bottle and I filled it with a lot of liquid nitrogen and then seal off the cap? Now, that might be interesting. And then I got to thinking, why don't we make it bigger? Why don't we take a large bottle and fill it with liquid nitrogen and seal it off? That's what I'm going to do. Now, the liquid nitrogen is cold and it boils like mad when I pour it into this bottle. But as long as the bottle is open to the atmosphere, then all that gas escapes and it's pretty harmless. But that's not what we want to do. We want to actually seal the bottle off and then see what happens. Now, this is not something that you want to do at home. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put liquid nitrogen into this bottle, and then we're going to seal off the cap. And this bottle is really strong, and we want it to burst. So I'm going to accelerate the process by pouring in a little bit of warm water. And then, just because we think it's fun, we're going to take some 1,000 ping pong balls and put them into the bin along with the liquid nitrogen. Now, I have to tell you that this demonstration doesn't always work. For instance, if the top cracks in the process, then things won't be very impressive. But if it does work, then we seal off the cap and the pressure goes up and up and up until bang! You get this huge explosion and one heck of a bang. And once we get rolling, then you'll want to cover your ears. Something like this. Don't put your fingers in your ears, you'll push your brains out. Just cover your ears like this. Now, once I start, I can't stop. Hopefully, we'll launch a whole bunch of ping pong balls in the air. Are you ready? Well, bring your camera and let's come outside to the perimeter of the main quad and do the ping pong ball explosion.